United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for being here. Yes, tonight. Any announcements or recognitions? Go ahead.
Alrighty, I'll get this started. March bucket fillers: Rylan Terrett, Luke Nyman, Connor Blanchard, Matthew Paul, Zach Green, Carter Pedraza, Arizona Soysa, Tydell Beals, Gavin Bertusk, Casey Courier, Carla Cook, Tegan Lafreniere, Emmett Price. Pony Award winners: Casey Olmstead, Olivia Tordoff, Gavin Moser, Umbrea Pryor. And then I have more. There's more. Okay, this is from Mrs. Dahl. Every year, students at PBS are invited to participate in creating a music-themed picture for the annual Music K-8 cover contest. Some classrooms complete this as a collaborative art project, while others choose to send it home for students to work on independently. Each student who submits a picture is entered into the contest, where the grand prize winner has their artwork featured in the May-June issue cover and may receive prize money ranging from $30 to $200, along with publication in the magazine and on their website. For the past 15 years, PBS has consistently had students, something we're incredibly proud of. This year, 8 PBS students received the honors. Top finalist: Aaliyah Colbert, 5th grade. Most humorous finalist: Grace Dilworth, 2nd grade. Honorable mention: Brinley Krieger, 5th grade. Most humorous honorable mention: Roan Braided Hair, 2nd grade. Grayson Plenty Hoots, 2nd grade. Cassidy Gardner, 5th grade. Brad Drexler, 5th grade. And promising young artist honorable mention: Logan Krieger. That's what I got.
Good. Very good.
The students of the week is Zoe Link, Justin Eastman, Roel Barr, Carlos Salloway, Tyshawn Small, Joseph Springer, Kaylee Eldridge, Chelsea Rowland, Randy Speckman, Trinity McCamey, and Ridley Beatty. And 6th grade had a tie with Randy Speckman and Roel Barr for the students of the month. And 7th grade was Tyshawn Small, and 8th grade was Carlos Salloway.
I actually have a list. Attendance competition: juniors were 89.25, seniors 87.65, sophomores 87.18, freshmen were 86.91. March Student of the Month awards went freshman Kimberly Arneson, sophomore Peyton Beatty, junior Ethan Biglepcan, senior Dylan Wilson. Be a Buddy Not a Bully winner for March was Tessa Marbach. We had 2 students that were selected to play in the Bighorn College All-Star Basketball Game March 18th. That was Keaton Hill and Blake Toscano. We had 3 girls selected to play in the Treasure State Classic Thursday through Saturday, and they now are including juniors. It's not just seniors. So it was Macy Sherman, Jimmy Small, and Kenley Fulton. Cammie Egan coached that team. We had 4 kids named 3B All-Conference teams. Keaton Hill was named to the 2nd team All-Conference. Jayleigh Harris was named 1st team All-Conference for girls. Kenley Fulton, 2nd team All-Conference for girls. Prom royalty: King was Dylan Wilson, Queen Jimmy Small, Prince Taylor McFarland, Princess Kinsey Small, Jester was Patrick Gutierrez. Go figure. And then Jake Allison earned his state FFA degree last week, 2 weeks ago, making him Colstrip FFA's 42nd stage 3 winner.
Very good. All right. With that, move on to public comment. This is the point in the meeting for comments on matters not already on the agenda. Comments on agenda items will be accepted when that item is up during the meeting. Interested persons may also submit views or written form to the clerk or superintendent prior to the meeting, and those comments will be brought to the attention of the board during the meeting. Do we have any correspondence or public participation? Okay. Consent agenda.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approve the consent agenda as presented, including our executive session minutes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. With that, I'll go to the vote. Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Okay. Governance calendar. All right,
I think we're good.
we're good. We have no old business, so with that, I'll move into new business. B101, some resignations for information purposes only. Thank you very much for your years of service.
How long did you all work here? Anybody know?
Over 25 years.
Say around 25. Sherry bounced out here, didn't she? I was going to ask her before she.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, 8.02.
Okay, I'd like to recommend the hire of Karen Briggs as CHS play director for the 25-26 school year.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves Karen Briggs as CHS Play Director for the 25-26 school year.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this? Any board? Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Aye. Actually, pretty good. Like close up in that.
Okay. So, I'd like to bring these names to you all for extracurricular hires for 26-27. Marietta Crawford, CHS close-up sponsor and multicultural sponsor. Brandy Charette as the district science fair, along with Nikki Barrett-Moline as also the district science fair, and Nikki is the middle school head cross-country coach.
Move these all together or separate?
You can take them all together.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the extracurricular hires for the 26-27 school year. Marietta Croft for CHS close-up sponsor and CHS multicultural sponsor. Brandy Charette, District Science Fair. Nikki Barrett-Moline, District Science Fair and FBMS Head Cross Country Coach.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this? Board? Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
8.04.
All right, I'd like to recommend for the non-affiliated staff 26-27 school year, Rebecca Hopkins, accounts payable and executive secretary, and Peyton Allen, tech supervisor.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves to rehire the non-affiliated staff for the 26-27 school year as presented.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this? Any further board? Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Classified.
All right, I'd like to recommend the following classified rehires for the 26-27 school year as presented.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves to rehire the classified staff for the 26-27 school year as presented.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this? Any further board? Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Okay. Extracurricular athletic fall rehires.
So I'd like to bring these names to the board to be rehired for 26-27 school year for the middle school and the high school fall rehires as presented.
everybody's a rehire on the list? No one's new?
Everybody on this list should be.
Okay.
If that's the case, it's just.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the extracurricular fall rehires for the 26-27 school year as presented.
Second.
Yeah, motion and second. Any public comment on this? Any further board? Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Aye. Winner?
I bring these names to the board to be rehired for the 26-27 school year, the middle school rehires and the high school athletic rehires.
Same thing. They're all rehires.
Yep.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the extracurricular winter rehires for the 26-27 school year as presented.
Second.
Yeah, motion and second. Any public comment on this? Any further board?
Thank you for getting these done so fast. I think it means it's good for our programs to have those coaches in place. Appreciate it.
Patrick?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Aye. Equivalently.
Brings names to the board for rehire for extracurricular activities as presented. K-8 extracurricular 26-27 and looks like high school extracurricular for 26-27 sponsors as presented. Everybody in this list is a rehire.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the extracurricular rehires for the 26-27 school year.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this? Any further board? Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Aye. April 9.
Okay, I'd like to bring to you a recommendation to close the CHS Spanish Club account since the club no longer exists. And Rich is recommending that we transfer this money, $1,829.09 into the CHS activity account.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves to close the extracurricular fund for the CHS Spanish Club and transfer the balance into the CHS activity account.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this?
The CFA waited a while before we closed that or took it out of our CBA because we wanted to make sure that no one else wanted to get Spanish going back in our school and all of that. So I think from our end, it made sense to wait a while, and then we didn't have any activity there, so we went ahead and took it out of our CBA. So it makes sense to close out that account.
Anything else? Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
$8.10.
All right, I'd like to bring to the board a recommendation for the 26-27 school year calendar. It's a hybrid calendar, meets all of the state requirements for the hours for students. Hybrid meaning that we do have some Fridays off and try to get one a month. And then also, I think we did add, there's an extra PIR and extra PDW day this year as far as differences. So, let's see if there's anything else. Special note right now. It matches, it meets the current CBA for the required amount of hours.
Can we discuss for a second before motion? Is there a reason why the 4-day wasn't presented?
Yes. There was. So if we present a 4-day calendar and it passes, the union still has to come back and present an MOU. And it opens us up to negotiations. It's an automatic trigger to open negotiations between the CFA and the board in the district. And we just found that out on March 31st at our last negotiations meeting. And so it would trigger negotiations for, because they could agree for a change in duty day, and then it would also open them up to renegotiate salary as well. That's what we were informed of.
I can clarify on that, and so we couldn't bring any new items to negotiations. Time, because we couldn't change it with what we had already done with the interest-based bargaining piece there. But as for salary, we're already in a different negotiation that would mess with the salary. So our union wouldn't be looking at that piece of it. But the duty day, we talked about maybe doing an MOU because until we know it's the right fit for our district, it would make sense to not change it officially unless we were to like put in other wording. You know, we could say with an MOU, like if it is for 2 years, assuming that it'll stay with 4-day, or it could be 1 year because we would know it could be a 4-day week, and then the next year we can either choose to renew it or not renew it based on whatever the next calendar would be. But as for the salary part, we wouldn't be renegotiating a salary part on that.
Okay, because Rachel made it very clear that you would be.
No, she said we just have to go through and make sure there's no other like conflicts. Hopefully Rachel didn't get it confusing on that part, but really.
Well, I went back and read the minutes on it, so just to make sure that I was clear on it before I spoke. I went back into our negotiations file and read the minutes, and it was clear in there that Rachel stated that it would trigger salary negotiations as well as needing to work day, duty day, sorry.
The duty day is our main one that we know would have to be adjusted. We're already approaching the other pieces through the negotiations. And the salary is more so CCA because.
My question is, though, if it was not the salary, if all this work was being done on a 4-day calendar, why wasn't that discussed? Because you know your duty day is going to change, right?
But the original
You're either gonna-
calendar didn't have it.
Right, but,
Yeah.
I mean, the committee wasn't trying to reinvent the wheel here either, right? You're either gonna go longer in the year or you're gonna go longer in the day.
Right. And the
So
original
why
one-
wasn't that proposed? Like, hey, if we do this 4-day, here's the MOU for, we're gonna start at this time and end at this time. Or we're gonna start school in the 1st of August and we're gonna get out at the end of June. You know what I'm saying? It's not the calendar.
Instructional hours. Yeah.
Right, originally the calendar, the first 4-day one that was shown had it staying the same duty day. So it didn't come up because of that, and it just extended the year. And then the one that came up last time extended the duty day. And our union itself has a very mixed review. It depends on who you ask on how they feel about it. But just speaking to like the logistics of it, if that were to be something that we push forward, I know we said in our negotiations, you could always approve a calendar that you want. And if it was a 4-day per se or the hybrid, whatever you guys go with. But if it was a 4-day, you could approve it pending negotiations with the unions. And then you can always make a change to that. So it's just so you guys know that that's an option as well. But that's our main thing from our end is the duty day. We'd have to do probably an MOU to adjust that piece of it for sure.
Do you have members on the calendar committee?
Yeah, we do a lot.
Okay. Could that come out of the calendar committee? Because I would assume the people on the calendar committee.
But the calendar
I've seen the
committee
duty
hasn't met since December. And at that time, the 4-day calendar that was worked on with the whole committee was the 8 to 4 time still maintained. that's why like we didn't bring it up. Because at that time it was still what the committee had worked on, and then.
So that was starting earlier and ending later in the year.
Yeah, yep. And so that kind of maintained that piece of it, if that makes sense. So then it didn't come up during like our negotiations or anything, say till the time after we finally got a new calendar, and then that extended, right? That extended the duty date. I'm a hand talker. That extended the duty date. But just so you guys know, I mean, there is an option for you to do that, but it's also not just our union. It is CCA, which is actually more of your challenge because of all the parts, because if they're on hourly, so you have to make them whole so that they're, that's where it's really the hang up. So, I don't know.
Yeah. So
that's-
we would actually have to negotiate.
Right, and I think we were all clear on that part.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was more of the, ours is more of the details, making sure the CBA lines up with it. We do, any tweaks we need to do, and we could address some stuff, like we said, about the duty day through an MOU. But theirs is gonna be more of a working because of the salary versus hourly situation.
Right.
We
So,
knew that.
okay,
In negotiations, they were very clear that it would not be an MOU,
Right.
that it is too big of an item to not open up negotiations. So
Right.
that was not what was said in negotiations.
Well,
Right.
I just want to make that clear so that everyone knows,
you
that's a
still,
long
it's still
process.
considered opening, but it's not the same as like the negotiating we're doing now. We just have to like open it up and talk about all this stuff.
But you
But
said
it's
an
not the same
MOU.
situation, but we get to present an MOU instead of a full-on change to the
The
CBA.
differences.
It's a weird difference, but it's a difference where, we would still have to make sure that we comb through. I mean, we could do it on our end, you could do it on your end. We could make sure we have the same situations that we line up on whatever might be different. We've already started looking. I mean, on my own personal level, I'm the kind of person, you tell me when to work and I'll be there. So that's my viewpoint on it, for the most part. But, yeah, I mean, if it comes down to wondering and worried about the unions, you guys have your choices on the calendars, and there are ways to work it, but theirs is more the money issue versus ours is like the little details.
so calendar has to be approved in April, anytime in April. Could we table it? And then if we know we have to renegotiate with the CCA, we've known that. I mean, we've talked about that 100 times, and I think as soon as that would get approved, that would just start that. But I think there's been some tension I'm hearing with the CFA, so by the next board meeting, could you guys bring us that MOU? Approving the extended duty day?
We have a union meeting tomorrow, so we'll be
Okay.
able to have some answers after our union meeting tomorrow, and what kind of things our group would want to go with. We can touch base with you guys from there.
Okay,
That works.
so I think,
Talk to you about it.
and you guys have all seen the 4-day, I haven't seen it, the 4-day.
Yeah. And we worked and reworked so many, to be honest with you. We had several copies going. So it was about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, we had another meeting with the calendar committee, kind of took their last input, and then I think in December was when I asked, I know I talked to Connie about taking, the 4-day week to her union so that they could discuss what they wanted for the different groups. So then I didn't know they'd have to reopen negotiations until the last meeting. I don't think she did either. But anyway, so we had that discussion. And in the meantime, I got a calendar that meets both the 1385, 4-day.
Is this the calendar, Scott?
I don't know what she's on. Actually. It probably isn't.
It came from the.
But when you said we worked the 4-day, you never sent it out.
No, I didn't, because we had negotiations. Well, this is probably pretty close, this one, yeah, that we showed us. But, yeah, I could get that to you tomorrow.
We also have a meeting tomorrow.
Yep. I can send it to you tonight. And it meets those things that we talked about in the last meeting. I mean, I've got 2 of them. I've got one that actually have the extra professional development that added more hours that we talked about too. And I've got one that meets the current 1385 in that CBA, but it does extend the workday, so.
So
I
we
think
would
this is pretty
need
close.
an MOU that extends the duty day.
Yep.
And also one that adds hours to the contract hours. Is that what you're saying? Or no?
We don't have to, no,
Okay,
no.
Just to extend the duty day.
I mean, the committee had discussed it, so there was differences of that too. So I went back, reworked it, both ways. I didn't know which way would go with negotiations, if we would have the extra professional development time or not, so I have two calendars. So I would bring the one that's the 1385, the current CBA. Okay.
so I'm not ready to give up on the 4-day yet.
No,
We
we have surveys, we got community. If you look
right,
at-
when you look at
how
the
we-
overwhelming results, it's 77 or 75% on the average between both unions and the community.
Yeah.
For years, we've done this, round and round and round, where we go and ask our community for input, and they say overwhelmingly, we want a 4-day, and then we come back and go, just kidding.
The committee has yet to bring us an actionable 4-day calendar. That's the problem. I mean, we've been talking about this for, I don't even know.
Years.
Just
And
to do
every
this
year we
4-day.
ask. So when we told Mr. Otrim that to bring us a calendar that we can approve, that's what this is. This is a calendar that we can approve, because if we approved a 4-day calendar, it would automatically trigger negotiations per what we learned at our negotiations meeting on 3/31. So this was, yeah, so he couldn't bring a 4-day calendar because we've told him, bring us one that we can approve.
Okay, so how about this? We bring it back for the work session. But it has to be brought back with an MOU from the CFA saying that they're okay with that duty day. And then also pending renegotiations with CCA, which would happen as soon as the contract gets approved. Does that sound?
We would have to negotiate it.
Right. But the negotiation wouldn't have to happen in April?
We can't really negotiate something that hasn't happened. Is the problem.
Right, so if we approved it in April,
A calendar just has to be approved by the board by the end of April.
right,
So it's no different than a few years ago when we had one calendar adopted and some things happened and we had to make a change in the summer.
Yeah.
And that was changed by the board in the summer.
Yeah.
That didn't break anything on our end. So it's something, if you approve it pending negotiations and something happens and that doesn't work or whatever, say something wasn't able to be solid or whatever, and it has to change back to like say this hybrid one, that's still not breaking anything in our CBA. We're still fine.
so this could be our backup plan. But then we could have, and then you guys will have already met, so maybe we could get an MOU by that time from the CFA. And then CCA, we know we're gonna have to sit down and negotiate a lot of it.
Mhm.
Okay, I mean,
Here's the thing, you're talking about year after next, combining the 7th and 8th grade year. All right, if this gets put off another year, and you know that 75% of the community and teaching staff want to switch to the 4-day, then it's inevitable to happen the following year at this point in time. That's a lot of changes in one year. A lot. I mean, there's already enough going on right now. But for it to continue to be talked about and just put off to another school year, I mean, it's even
I
more
don't think
like,
that's the intention.
no,
Okay.
I'm just saying, I've been on the calendar committee for 3 of the years I've been here. Every year, a 4-day calendar has been presented.
Right, and every year we don't have an MOU to make it happen.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I'm concerned if it does get cut off again, and
Right.
then it gets pushed through, and if we do move kids around, and then a calendar change too, it's a lot.
Because I remember talking about this last year, and we did say we needed an MOU in order for this to happen.
Yeah, we didn't look at a 4-day last year, committee, we didn't have time, we discussed it one meeting maybe, and that was it, so. We really,
2 years ago that we looked at it, you guys decided that it was too much work for not having a superintendent.
Yeah.
Come up with an
too.
Yep.
And so, I mean, there was no incentive.
Yep.
And then Bob was trying to put it through.
We didn't have.
Yeah, well,
My first year, Bob was here and he did try to put it through at that point.
Okay, so I would like to table this item.
Yeah.
I would like to, I think we should have an MOU as soon as possible. Like, I don't, if this is what they're wanting to do.
Well, on the next meeting, he can bring us 2 calendars. He can bring us the hybrid, and he can bring us the 4-day. We can put them both on the agenda, and then if we don't have the MOU for the 4-day at that meeting, then we just do the hybrid. Because that gives us options. We have 2 calendars to choose from, because I honestly haven't even seen the 4-day yet, but I work a 4-day, highly recommend it, would never want to go back. So I am very for 4-day weeks for sure.
I am as well. I think it, I mean, you can't keep asking for community input and then not doing what they want.
yeah, I'm all for the 4-day calendar as well. What I'm frustrated with is we've yet to be presented with an actionable calendar, right? I mean, if we keep saying, well, we don't know because we don't have a calendar that's approved. Yeah, but you do know. You do know what would have to happen if that calendar was approved.
Right.
Those MOUs or whatever should already be in their back pocket going, hey, if you approve this kind of calendar, this is what we'll have to do for an MOU to get our workday right or to extend it. You know, we need something to be approved so we can act on it. Well, that's true, but you can also have that done, right? You can say, we want this 4-day calendar. This is how the CFA sees the workday. This is how the CCA sees their workday.
Except, do you want PTA telling you what it's going to look like? Or
Well,
do you
I'd like to
want
see what they think their workday is going to look like.
supervisors and the admin want to have some input? Like, those are the questions that we've been asking for years, is what do you want it to look like? What do you want tech doing? What do you want maintenance and custodial, you know? I mean, obviously, like, paras and food service are gonna be based on the calendar, but everybody else is, you know, they're 26 employees, so they are 410s, or they 5Ks.
What are other districts that are already doing this doing with those people? That's what I'm saying. It should be done.
I think if we put this on the next agenda, 2 calendars with an MOU on the agenda, then I will be a part of that negotiation committee with the CCA because we've talked about this. I mean, we have. And I think we can get through it. And I think we can make it fair. I do.
I think Kai and I had some good discussion after that last meeting. I have good ideas. I think we can get there. I mean, I know we can.
Oh, you
Well, if you look at CBA, it just says that we have to confer with the union. So what I did was I created a committee. We started meeting, I think, in October, and then we got to the point where we really did have what we were looking at as far as how much professional development, the 4 days, and the hybrid was out there too. That was suggested last year, and I think, and obviously before I got here too. And so then I did kick it back to them. I said, take it back and see how it'll work, mostly classified, and let me know what you are thinking. And then so we did a meet. Yeah, there were other things that came up, got in the way, and then we met again. So I call them, but I think we've done the work. I mean, I know we have done the work. There's been a lot of work done, and I purposely started it early this year so that we would be to the point where we were at in January. So I think we've done a lot of good work and really have, with the survey that went out early, reviewed that over Christmas, got that out to the community 2 different times, talked about it here. I think we know where we're at, just a matter of crossing these T's, dotting these I's so that everybody's on the same page with our unions and how they're gonna work and their hours and close.
Okay, let's do it.
I mean, it's exciting. It's a good thing.
But you can see where the frustration comes for the board.
100%. I've been on the board for 4 years and I've had this conversation both times. I know,
I would
but
love to
this is
brought the
gonna-
other one tonight if I could have.
This is our year. I think we just need to rip the Band-Aid off and move forward.
And I appreciate everyone's work, I understand it's not.
It's kind of looped into that. If you have something to say, Joe, go ahead.
I would caution you, supposed to negotiate. And the screen was right, or was we do that. Usually you should handle this kind of stuff during the contract negotiation. You reopen the contract, you open the whole thing.
Right,
Not just for this.
right. That's why we didn't bring that. Yep,
Mhm.
And expensive.
that's why we
That's
didn't
where
bring
we
it.
asked for the MOE.
Where can I find the entire, where can I find the entire plan of what you're doing? Where do I see that?
Calendar options?
No, the whole, everything. I mean, we're talking about, I think we need to go back to playing football on Friday and Saturday nights and everything else, starting up before they work.
Okay, we're talking about a calendar right now, okay? Let's,
Where is the
we're not talking about that. We're talking about a calendar. We're gonna stay on this calendar. Right, here's, all the information on the calendar is right here, or the committee. Or the calendar committee,
It's time for public participation on this agenda item.
which is the calendar.
Okay.
Okay.
I move to table item 8.10 and bring it back in our next meeting.
I'll second. And-
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further public participation on this agenda item?
Yes, I wasn't real sure when the two groups were gonna meet again. Like I heard that the two groups are gonna meet this week. Tomorrow.
Mhm.
Great.
And
And
we do the,
community can come to those too, right? Or no, it's just.
no, it's just the union members, but it's always not always, but we try to always do the day after the first board meeting of the month.
Okay.
And the district has been really good about respecting that kind of time, and then we try to meet with superintendent on anything that comes up after that. Something would need to be discussed. It's a good problem solving. Thanks.
Well, I'd like to say, thank you for the work you guys have done consistently. Thank you for coming up with a good solution going forward. And thank you to our union reps for, understanding what needs to be done. So I think we all want something. And yeah, let's work to it. So, that's all I gotta say.
Anything else for? Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Aye. 8.11.
All right, I would like to have the board, this is the board policy, which is attached here, 5121. Just work with me to establish our PIR, PDW committee, which is comprised of one teacher from each building, one teacher from special education, two administrators, and one board member, and then the superintendent or my designee. So we would really like to get the planning our professional development for next school year. And to have that happen, I need you guys to initiate that.
So we don't need to, we need to amend this motion. We just need to approve the advisory committee.
Then you have to appoint a board member.
Yeah, you have to appoint them.
Okay, yeah, I guess we would have to. So do we have any volunteers? Looking at friends.
Okay. I'll do it. Sure.
It's all about the trainings, so I think it's important. I mean, we've talked about it a lot too with Brandy, that we need to get hold on, that they're meaningful, right?
Right, so definitely, it's a state requirement. We've obviously had the policy in effect, but I think with lots of different superintendent changes throughout the years, the process of it has just gotten lost a little bit. And so being able to bring it back and get those PIR, PDW days really set up and make them really amazing and meaningful and something that staff can really be inspired by and take into work, I think that'll be really great.
And so CIP CPA is not included on that committee. I just want to note that it is in our contract that if we choose to, we train for CPI or advanced training, and that hasn't been done. It was done this year, but just hasn't been done since 21. So something to look at.
Last year.
What is that?
The CPI or advanced training.
What's that mean?
It's the crisis prevention or de-escalation.
Okay.
It is in our CBA that we are trained yearly.
Okay.
We had CPI last year. Yeah, we did.
With everybody? No. It's for just a select. Yep. Yeah, and it's supposed to be for everybody. You don't have to take it, but you should be offered it.
And what was the other one that you said?
Manager CPI, they're just different.
Oh, they're the
Same thing,
Just
same
different
thing.
companies.
Okay.
CPI went out of business for the most part where we're at, so it was math this year. Okay.
So, Francis. Let's go.
Okay, so do you want me to make this motion or we don't have to make this
I
motion?
think we do have to.
We do have to make a motion.
To nominate her?
Yep.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the nomination of Francis Alta Cruz to serve on the advisory committee for the 26-27 in-service training schedule.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this?
Just let us know when you want to get the first one started. We're eager to get things kind of lined out. See what we can plan for next year.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Any for the board? Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Okay. 9.01, admin reports. I didn't have any questions on that. Times.
How many athletes are in the FBMS track this year?
22, is that what I heard? I want to say 45 and 55.
Oh, FB.
Ooh.
With that, 9.02. That's you.
Okay, some highlights. You've noticed that we've got demolition going on at the grandstand, so they've been working McKinstry. We've been meeting with them too, and we have some regular scheduled meetings on the bond projects. And Mr. Slater and I have been kind of discussing some of the layout there. And I know last week it came up to get that a notice out once a week. But I did talk to Tyler Bush. I didn't get anything last week from him, but that will be coming, so we can get something posted on our website, what's going on each week from him. And let's see.
And we have a designated section on our website that would just be updated weekly?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was gone a lot last week. I was sick, so I didn't get kind of with Becca. And I know Chris has done the website too, so we'll get our pictures, get things going this week. Yeah, it'd be nice to see all those things that are happening. So that's exciting. And it was a little bit noisy too, so people were wondering what that big hole was about, where that came from, and some of those questions. So we'll get that out there. Let's see, been working with Jewel principals for the steering committee. You have that tonight. Navigate 360. There's a meeting with myself and Tech for working on the panic buttons, and there's some other things too. There's quite a bit with the safety plans and the handbooks and things. A lot of that's going to come now this summer, but we've been meeting with them. And then let's see, just attended the community consolidation meeting, so there was a lot of plans and discussions and talks, and I know kind of in the background, just kind of keep that going, working on that. Grand March was really nice, went to that. And then also over to middle school with the music concert and play. Those are really good evenings. If you missed those are a lot of fun. Let's see, calendar committee meeting. And then as I put, we had several versions, as you've heard tonight, of the calendar. Let's see, one thing I did miss was the teacher apprenticeship program. Not sure if I missed it, except for I'll just claim I was not feeling well last week. Just put quite a bit of time into that. If you remember, I talked to you earlier this year about the teacher apprenticeship program. They weren't sure if that would get off or not, but basically you can have paras or emergency authorized people within your district that are already in those positions recommended for the scholarship, basically for tuition. So I was able to bring 3 names forward. Chris and I worked on it quite a bit, and we had to go with a college. There's quite a few hoops to jump through it. There's more than I actually thought. So we got all of those done actually a couple weeks in time, a couple weeks early. So we have some people that are waiting, I think, anxiously to see if they get those scholarships. So that's an exciting thing our state's doing to get paras and again, emergency authorized people scholarships to get their teaching degrees. So wrap that up. And the science fair was kind of good too. That was a lot of kid things going on in spring, so good to be spring. Perfect. All right.
So back to your last bullet point about calendar. You will share the 4-day with them before their meeting tomorrow.
And the board.
Okay.
And the board.
I don't need to see it. I just
You
need
don't
them
want
to
to?
see it. I don't need to see it till the agenda. 'Cause
Okay.
It's not,
Yeah, I'll send it to like the whole committee and then make sure that Brandon gets it. She's not on the committee herself, but yeah.
okay.